Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, preferably not all ages, I tend to have a little bit of a potty mouth. So we're going to talk about 9.0. Now, before anybody goes, oh great, another guy that's going to pull up all of the shit that's come on 4chan and just start spouting it off as if it's gospel, getting super hyped. Oh guys, this looks fucking amazing. If this is true, oh my god, this is going to be insane. Rah, 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 hyping it all up, and then at the very end of it going, but don't forget, this is all just rumour. We don't know if any of this is actually true. By that point, nobody's listening to the video. They're all like, oh my god, we're going to get Tinkers at last! Yeah! And now spreading that around like gospel. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to do it our way. So what does doing it our way mean? Well, for a start, we're not going to overhype this. We're too old. We've been playing WoW for too damn long to not see through a lot of the BS that comes with the leaks. You'll notice there's a distinct ebb and flow to every patch that comes out. Generally, a lot of people come back, they play the patch, then the patch starts to dip again, and if we're close enough to the end of the expansion, then we start getting all the hype stuff come out, all of the leaks. And generally, 9 times out of 10, it's a wish list. Because let's be honest, if you went back and you actually look at what's going to be the next bit of the new expansion coming out, then generally there's only a small patch of it that will interest us. We'll go, ooh, some new features coming out, this new thing's happening. And only a handful of that will be 100%, fuck yeah, I really want that. That sounds awesome, I'm loving the sound of that. Think about when the Azeroth traits came out. We were all, we haven't really seen anything of it. You haven't really told us anything about it, so we're not really sure. You know, and this is the fact that we had the weapon. We had the weapon in our hands, so to speak, and we played with it. I'm not doing well here, and we enjoyed it. Yeah, I've given up now. In Legion, so that concept, the idea was good. We liked that, but we still didn't trust the new Azeroth system that was coming in. So that's the way it tends to go. Is there's always things in there we're just like, what? How the hell's that going to work? Okay, I'm interested to see that, but I'm skeptical. Generally, when you look at all these leaks, it's just wall-to-wall hype. It's just everything you've ever wanted in WoW, and all of a sudden it's apparently going to come true. So it's with that level of skepticism, cynicism, whatever else isms you want to say, that we're going to look at just one particular set of leaks, and we're not going to cover it in detail because what's the point? There's tons of these leaks out now, all of them slightly different, all of them slightly the same, and let's be fucking real about this. If me and you sat down in a Discord chat and just banded about ideas, things we'd like to see coming up, things we think are going to happen at the end of this expansion, things that we think are going to happen at the beginning of the next expansion, what's the next expansion going to be about, what's the expansion after that going to be about, we would come up with a rough idea, and if we took away the crazy stuff or the real fanboy stuff that we'd love to see, what we would come up with would be there or thereabouts. You know, you could make a list like this, the leak list, and it would look pretty realistic. Because we've played the game for so long, we kind of get what's going to happen, what ideas they're going to take from the current expansion, the expansions before it, and what they're going to implement. So we're not going to deep dive into this. We're going to look, and we're just going to talk about what we think, BS, not BS, and just, you know, just spitball. So, now the one that I'm looking at right now is, I think, the Age of Darkness leak. Also, you've got the Shadowlands leak. There's loads of different ones, various degrees of titles. They're kind of irrelevant, whatever they're going to be. If I remember correctly, Shadowlands was a DLC or an expansion for another game, and it was an MMO. Fuck, I can't remember it now. So I don't know whether they'll use that name. Anyway. Yes, new name. Ooh. Well, I can 100% guarantee you that whatever the expansion is, it's going to have a new name. So, like, yay! That's true. Fantastic. Alright, then we've got the obligatory level squish. And this is kind of down to all sorts of numbers. 50, 60, 40, they're all over the place. And I'm thinking, well, okay, let's say the level cap is down to 50, the new expansion takes it up to 60. Well, is that going to be the equivalent of leveling 1 to 60 now? Which, you know, when you hit 50 starts to take a little bit of time. It's still not very long. But that's... If you then think you're going back to, say, 1 to 20 is going to be vanilla, that's not a long time. There's a lot of world to see and experience. What you're basically saying is that world is dead to you right now. That is gone. Now, we'll get on to potentially the changes that will happen later on. And something that, and again, this is something we've said, that they need to make the old world more relevant. Because it's the world we live in. So why don't we use it more? Now, we'll get on to that later, but just 1 to 20 for vanilla would seem crazy low. Unless they're going to keep the same amount of... You know, it's going to take the same amount of time to level currently. So you've got 1 to 60 is the total amount of levels, but the time it takes is going to be the same as it currently takes from 1 to 120. But then that doesn't make sense. You're literally just squishing it so that new people aren't frightened by the number of levels. That might be it. That might simply be it. The next one. The new class, the Tinker. How many expansions have this been touted about? Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. As many of you will know, I played Warhammer Online, and one of my favourite classes in that was the Dwarven Engineer. Fucking amazing class. Bang down turrets. They could do all sorts of different things. Flamethrower, machine gun, all sorts of stuff. So I love the idea of a Tinker class. Especially as I love goblins. Absolutely love the goblins. So a Tinker goblin that could use explosives as range DPS, or some sort of combat medic that can bang down a turret and it flamethrowers healing shit everywhere. That concept I love, and I always have ever since the Tinker was constructed and put out there. Now they may do it because obviously the goblins are getting the new update for their model. They've just had the heritage armor. We've just had, and I agree with a lot of people, is there's no better time. If they're not going to do it now, then the Tinker is never coming, because we've got the Mechanomes now. We've got, as I say, the Goblin update to the models. Like, there's never been more of a focused time on the Gnomes, Goblins, you know, the Mechanomes. There's never been a better time, especially if they're going to bring the Mechanomes out as a allied race. There is no better time to do this. So if they don't do it now, it's never going to happen. So yeah, I would love to see the Tinker. I would love to see a new class. I know we'll go, we only just had the Demon Hunter, but I would really like to see a new class. Especially one that, as I say, is on the Goblins, because I really want to play Goblins. I really do, and I really want to start playing the game again, because I'm in the dip I spoke about before when you played an expansion and you need a break. I'm in that break phase at the moment. Hence why we're talking about 9.0 and future stuff, and not looking at, say, Heroic Warfronts or whatever else, because I'm just taking a break for a minute from WoW. So I know, call me a filthy casual, I'll accept it. So story stuff, we're not really going to get into, because it is what it is. We're generally all thinking Narath, Old Gods is going to come up, the Dragon Flights, that kind of thing. It is what it is. You know, whatever may be. We're talking about, you know, potentially, and I don't want to go into too many spoilers, Sylvanas being captured or killed and going into the Shadowlands and blah, 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 blah. Whatever. We'll just see on that. Like, the story has always been part of WoW that I've adored and loved. And I've criticised current storytelling in WoW because of its just sloppy laziness. It's just, there are fan fictions out there that are so much better than what we're currently getting, and that's ridiculous. It shouldn't be that way. The pinnacle should be what we're receiving in World of Warcraft, and it's not at the moment. So the story, I'm just, yeah, convince me, Blizzard. That's getting thrown away. Partial old world revamp. Now, this is something I'm really excited about. Now, obviously, Cataclysm, we had this. They revamped the old world. Suppose the team's bigger now, so it's not going to take less time. Whatever. But what I'm excited about is a revamp of the old world for max level, so that we can have this experience of going back and doing things in vanilla. We need to make it more of a world thing. When these things happen, like at the moment we're meant to be in Battle for Azeroth, and I've said this before, but at the moment it feels like we're on the Battle for 2 Islands, and that's it. That's not good enough. Oh, and now, sorry, we have Nadjatar and Mechagon. But nothing has happened on Kalimdor and Eastern Kingdoms. And that's ridiculous to me. You have this amazing, fucking cool world, and you don't use it. It's one of the things you have over any other MMO, and you don't use it. You give us 2 little new zones, and that's it. I could rant for ages on that, and I have done before, so apologies, but I would really like to see an old world revamp, just so we can go and use this world more. I'm 100% for that. And I think that is something they will do. Whether it's in the next one, because I don't think they've got too many more big world revamps. I think they need to have a lot of time in between doing this. So they need to do it for the right reasons, not just to bring, subscribers back. Because they've done something, whoa, look at us. Like they did with Cataclysm. It's like, whoa, we broke the world. Okay. And how are your subscriber numbers doing ever since? That's a dick comment, but, don't just do it for the sake of doing it for drama. Make sure it's good and true and right with the story. So, we got the Essence system. New features. So, not going to be... Well, it's going to be kind of like, supposedly a blend of the current Essence system and the Glyph system that we used to have. Okay, fine. I'm up for anything that makes the system of leveling up more interesting and durable. Because literally, I will get to the point where I unlock the ability to select what spec I want to be, and then after that, I'm kind of done. Every now and again, I'll look at the book and go, oh shit. Between now and like, I don't know, 8 levels ago, I got one new ability. Cool. I'll drag that down to my bar. Oh, it's Flare. I don't really care about that. I'm not going to pick it. And that's it. Any of you that watch me play the Magarok Survival Hunter will know that's exactly what happened. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I might have some new abilities. Oh, yeah, I did literally get Flare. Alright, I won't worry about that right now. And that was it. It's if I'm not checking, I want to see what next thing is. And I know they're going to come up with all these new fancy abilities, or fancy systems, but let's be honest, guys. Vanilla wasn't a bad way to go. Now, I'm not jumping on that vanilla hype train, but vanilla is not a bad way to go. Literally, every level I get a point. Now, a lot of this, I'm not going to go over all of it, but that whole general news section reads a lot like fucking just straight out Diablo. When you get to max level, every time you level up, you get a new point to spend, and those points are accountable. That's Diablo. That's Diablo. I can't remember what it's called now. I don't play enough of Diablo, but when you hit like max level and you start and you keep leveling up, so your level doesn't go up, but you keep getting new points to spend. Those are points apparently going to be... That's purely a Diablo rip. Now, that wouldn't surprise me if they do something like that, because they've done it before. They've ripped ideas before from Diablo, so it wouldn't surprise me if they're like, ooh, there's stuff in there low about being able to change your movement speed and stuff like that. And I'm kind of like, we'd have to see. Because, I mean, that would be cool. So if you're like, you want to go back and do some old dungeon content, it'd be fantastic to be able to just, that character doesn't do any current stuff, boom, his run speed's just going all the way up. I just want to be able to burn through his whole content. So that'd be quite cool. Then we come to BFA's ending. So, in 825, there's the new Heritage Armor and models. Now, any good lie, you have to add in some truth. 825 we already know has been released, and we already know we have, we had the Heritage Armors for the Tauren, so, and also, some Alliance Race, but we've had that, so you can look at that and go, well, that's true, that did happen. Well, yeah, but it already happened at the time of posting this, so it's not really a big leap. We deal mostly with the factions and the events after the Eternal Palace. Again, well, yeah, that makes sense, because what else is it going to deal with? We literally just beaten Ashara. We haven't killed her, we've beaten Ashara, and so, yeah, of course it's going to deal with that. And then they got the final patch, 8.3, is in Mulgore. Again, Thrall literally said they're going to come. I think it was Thrall or Jaina, because the two of them having a conversation. They're literally like, they're going to come for Mulgore. They're going to come for Thunder Bluff. So, that makes sense. Thunder Bluff being a raid, I actually would really like. That's cool, but we're raiding another Horde city. Really? Okay, fine, whatever. It's just... And I'm not saying that as a, oh, why do we always get attacked? More the fact it's just like, okay, fine. That's what you're going to do. Okay. But that doesn't seem particularly inventive or interesting. We'll have to see what they do. Whether during the interval between 8.3 and when the raid actually opens up, whether we're involved some way with the defences, with building up Mulgore so that it's properly entrenched and things like that. That would be interesting. That would be cool. And opening up as a max level zone, which they do say is supposedly going to happen. Okay. So basically another zone of world quests. Fantastic. Sylvanas is the final boss. Nathanios is killed. Sylvanas will be severely wounded and captured. They did say that all of this, the whole story stuff, again, like the story before, I'd take it with a pinch of salt, because who knows? Now, they're not going to kill Sylvanas. Unlikely they're going to capture, because that's what happened to Garrosh. They've said, we're not doing a Garrosh here. So, if they kill her, she's not going to die, or some weird, twisty shit's going to happen. Unlikely she's going to be War Chief, because it's too derisory, and they can't do the rest of the stuff. I would like her to stay as War Chief. I think it's interesting. But I think they've gone down the road, this is a separate video, but they've gone down the road of moustache twiddling bad guys so much that you can't salvage it now. Especially bring a Thrall back, and we're just going, oh, Thrall, oh. Anyway. And then we've got things like the Mechanomes and the Giblins will be the first pair of allied races coming in 8.3. I would be very interested if they did Mechanomes and Giblins for Horde and Alliance respectively, and they did Vulperian for both. It makes no sense that Viren would be Horde. I know everybody wants, we want Vulperian. It makes no sense them joining either side. They worked with a Horde, but not enough that they would join our entire faction and war campaign. They're happy in their own little world, but again, that's a separate video. The factions won't merge or get removed. No, it's too difficult to do that. Why they just don't have some sort of, we can talk to each other, maybe have communal queues for stuff, or community things for raiding. I don't know. I mean, it's a nightmare to work out, and you get purists who don't want it, but it needs to be for the right reasons, not just the game population is dwindling and they need to keep it alive, because certain servers are fucked. Yeah, certain servers you're on, if you're Horde or you're Alliance, you're fucked. You're not going to, your queue time's going to be ridiculous. And if it's to save those servers, bullshit. Don't do it. Merge servers. You need to merge the fucking servers, and you need to do it now. Like, just accept it. People are going on about how subnet accounts are apparently down anyway. Just accept it and move on. Merge the servers. Give people free transfers. Job done. Job fucking done. Get rid of all this bollocks about, people being clamped to their server and then charging them for it. It's rubbish. If you want the game to survive, you need to do these things. You need to take the hit. Anyway, that is our look at this list of various things that are going to happen. Yeah, no, I am not hyping this up. I'm not going, these are the things that are going to happen. As I say, if we sat on Discord and we chatted, we would come up with stuff half as good, if not better than this. But it is what's out there. It is the drama that's currently going on. It's been going on for a little while now. This is not new, and I've been trying to not get involved in it, but I was like, yeah, do you know what, fuck it, let's go and let's look at these things. Now, there is a fantastic post that I've read where somebody basically says, by the way, you need to know that it's going to be, it's fucking random, dude. Alright, you need to know it's a real leak, then it's going to be unpredictable shit. There's going to be stuff in there you just can't work out. Think of one of the biggest leaks we've had in recent times, Warlords of Draenor. They leaked a ton of that shit, and people looked at it and they were like, what? 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 Yeah, that's Blizzard's true patch notes. When you see things like, another thing that you'll see is guilds. Guilds having more, guild buildings, customizable, all that kind of thing. Fantastic. Again, another separate video that we'll do on this. Because I would love that. But that's a wish list thing. That's 100% a wish list thing. Whether Blizzard will tackle that so soon, and in their eyes it probably is still very soon, from Warlords of Draenor and all the shit people gave them on garrisons, who knows. But you need to see random stuff. When you start seeing stuff that's too good to be true, it's a fucking wish list. Alright, so, anyway, I can't tell if I'm excited or not. Thing is, I'm too long in the tooth, like many of you, to be hyped about things like this. I look at it and it's like some entertainment. That's the way you have to look at it, that this is all part of the WoW cycle in an expansion. And this is part of the entertainment when the leaks start coming out. We're going to see in the not too distant future what the future holds for the next expansion. We've got Classic coming out. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening. So, yeah, sit back, grab your popcorn, and just enjoy it, peeps, for what it is. Have a great one, everyone.